Okay, guys, as you know, with every show report, I like to give you not only my wrap up, but those of my friends that are very credible audiophiles, ones that go to lots of shows and don't have agendas or conflicts of interest. And I think that that gives you more of a perspective, not only from rooms I didn't get into, but also their perspective, because not everybody hears ear to ear. In most cases, though, we end up agreeing, but this just gives you more perspectives to digest that are just from audiophiles like yourself. So to that end, today I have Karl. He actually works at 3MA on the weekends doing turntable setup for them, and you've seen him on my channel. But he didn't do his wrap up yet with me from Southwest Audio Fest. So he came over to my house and we did double duty. His favorites from Southwest Audio Fest as well as Axpona. And he takes detailed notes. So enjoy his wrap up, and I got plenty more to come from my other friends and a Zoom you're not going to want to miss. Stay tuned. Alrighty, guys, look who I have in my listening room. Not Amy Winehouse. Unfortunately, she's passed, member of the 27 Club. Come to my back room. I got lots of 27 Club artwork back here. But we have Karl with us, still alive, still kicking, going to all the shows. And we're actually going to do this video to wrap up 2 shows, because I didn't do a wrap up with Karl for the Dallas show. It's been just one thing after another for me. This is the one night I get to spend in my bed in this entire month. I think it's 2 nights total. But wanted to go ahead and get this video out the way with Karl, because he's got feedback from both Axpona and Dallas. And like I said, always on my channel, I like to show you as many opinions as possible. And actually, as soon as we finish this, I'm filming a Zoom with my other members that were at Axpona, and I'm going to give you their feedback as well. And then I got to do my best of. But without further ado, let's get to Karl, and maybe we'll start with Dallas, and that was a great show.
Notes, as usual.
It was a smaller show, but some really big rooms. They have just about as many big rooms as any other show.
A lot of big rooms. They really stretched around that lobby. I mean,
oh yeah.
And MBL was way
on
at
the very
far
end, yes.
end.
And I don't think people appreciate how much it costs and how much effort to bring those MBL extremes out there. I know just for the sale models that we're looking at in my listening room here, it was a major cost and hassle to bring these. So people need to appreciate the effort that the guys that do show up at these shows versus manufacturers that don't. That's a big deal to me, because people that don't take the effort to showcase their products, don't go through the hassle to show you what they can do, and compromise listening rooms, you got to give them credit for that, not knee-jerk hate like a lot of primitive analysis is. But yeah, we don't have primitive analysis here. You're a veteran.
Well, the MBL Extreme, they were way off in that far end. But that was 3MA. They brought this 4,000 pounds, 6,000 pounds with boxes to
and
the
full
show.
disclaimer, Karl works for 3MA on the weekends and does all their turntable setup. So just a full disclaimer there.
Yeah, I mean, and Jeremy, he pulled it out with the MBL Extremes. I mean, they had to overcome that noise issue in the back.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like...
I wasn't aware of it.
Yeah, you turned everything off.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, you could hear it. So, but it wasn't really audible when it was playing.
Okay.
And it sounded great.
Yeah.
All right, another room. The Genesis
oh, yes,
G7s.
Of course, Gary Coe.
With the, well, that was a turntable setup with a Sonic X4 turntable with a head, cartridge with a head, and the wand.
I think it's Heed.
Heed.
Yes, Heed. Yes.
And
that's
the wand,
very innovative. Yeah.
Turned
the wand.
tone arm.
Just
very. I gave an underline. Another room. The Magico Macintosh with Magico S5s, Berkeley DAC, Rail subs, and Synergistic Research. So,
was that room by Scott Walker Audio or who?
Probably? Yeah,
okay.
They usually that's usually their gig. Oh, AGD always.
Oh, the AGD with the Rosso Fiorentino. Yes, that was a very good combination.
Always a good room, and non-digital sound, even though they're using digital files for playback. And I'm going to skip the 2 best.
Okay, all right, skip them.
Save
all
those
right, okay.
To the end. Bella Sound.
Yes, very nice gear analysis.
Yeah, it was a digital playback.
That was a planar speaker. That's a dipole, and pretty dynamic.
Another room, the Boulder with the Rockport
Links, yeah.
links, and Brinkman turntable.
Yeah.
And the Boulder, that was the 1108, so the monos.
Yes,
So
okay. That was a nice room.
very nice. Mola Mola with AudioNet and Vivid.
Okay.
It was a
Yeah, I didn't see
turntable
that room.
sound,
Okay.
so
Okay.
beautiful. Just okay, down to that Western Electric room with the Benny audio.
Yes.
And,
Albedo. Yes, that's a room that really stood out to me in terms of everything that was innovative there, from the rack.
Yeah.
And then
the turntable set
the
up.
speakers were transmission line. They were using very high quality drivers.
Yeah, the little
transmission line, double transmission line. And then the Western Electric stuff was very cool. And they're coming out with a set amp that's 100 watts. I can't wait to see that.
And
so that was a very big standout and under the radar brands that you don't normally see, including the Bel Canto DAC.
Yeah, I didn't get to hear the turntable play there. So, Avic, the Bornson, always
yes.
good. Was a really good room was the Burmester.
Yes.
All turntable.
Right.
It was all Burmester.
Yes, and I featured that gentleman and his dealership in Dallas before the show. Great guy, great dealership. Definitely brought out the big guns with Burmester. And really now, Burmester speakers to electronics, their soup to nuts are top notch.
Yeah, I mean, it was all speakers. Everything was Burmester. Mm-hmm. Very chromish.
Yes. Well, actually, the Burmester had the more matte black finish this time.
Oh, that was okay.
In that big room, yeah.
The Avant-Garde Duo GTs, CAD,
yes,
with CH Precision preamp.
Yeah, Angie was there helping set that up, and that's a bigger room, a much better room for Avant-Gardes than Axpona, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. And it was a very non-digital sound. Let's see, another Rockport, the Ryan with audio research, DCS Vivaldi, and the VPI turntable with the Mysonic cartridge.
That's right.
Beautiful sound.
That was a big room. Yes.
And unfortunately, the YGXVs, they had that kind of a pie-shaped room, and it was. I mean, Florida, they sounded better.
Okay.
But still worth the Takeo Olympus.
Yes, and the Soul Note gear is really nice. Yeah.
And at Florida, they had Western Electric.
Yes. Yes.
So, Argon, the Dyna Audio, Lumen, Rel.
Yeah, I think it's Aragon. Yeah.
That's another A in there?
Yes, okay. It's a legacy brand that's been around many years, but it's kind of come back. Yeah.
Magrite with the render, the YG Ascent.
Yes, very
Rel
nice.
subs, digital source material. And this spatial, with the Q3s.
Yes.
Lampizator, and a very smooth sound.
Yes, very cool.
And of course, best in show was Chris.
Chris Hesse,
both his rooms.
Yeah, and he was featured on my channel. He has those amazing listening rooms in Dallas. Last year it was under the Rhapsody banner. Now he's got his own dealership, and I featured the M9. Well, I couldn't release music clips there, but pictures. He had the M9s and he had Ultivox last year there, and now he's got the Chromas and the CS port. Really cool stuff. You definitely want to. Just his listening room alone, which coincidentally he was using RD Acoustics diffusers. Now that was a solid wood material, I believe. It's very similar. It's the same brand that is the one I'm featuring recently at Axpona that I'm buying, which is the more blade partition ones that have more of a composite absorption material, but same company makes both of them. That's a definite room, though, you have to go see. I think it's appointment only. But Chris Hesse in Dallas, I'm going to be paying him a visit in a few weeks.
Yeah, one room was turntable, and the other was a digital source material. In the turntable room, the Stanheim with the 5 SEs, CS port, Kuzma
Stanheim's another one he carries, really good.
Kuzma Sapphire arm with the Mysonic cartridge. Beautiful sound. I could listen to this all day.
All day. Yeah, he's a master at putting together systems. Actually, he also, I'm gonna have a video on this. He's gonna be sending me. He said this outlet that I featured in my video with Rick Brown. If you guys watch, go back. It might be in a YouTube short, but it's a $5,000 outlet. But he swears by, he's selling it too in Dallas. He's sold so many of these. He swears by it so much. I have a video with the designer that I still have to release from Axpona. And he's sending me one to try. So Chris, I might even pick it up when I go visit him in a few weeks, but stay tuned for a lot more from Chris in Dallas. But yeah,
in his other room was those Chroma speakers, the black and white.
Yes, beautiful.
And the Phylum electronics
Pilium,
with the Pilium.
Pilium, yeah.
And Takeo Olympus.
Takeo, yes, Olympus, yes.
It's such a non-digital, beautiful sound. There's going to be one in San Antonio.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, that's
he bought one. Okay.
Yeah, that's one of our clients
bought one.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
I met him. So that's pretty much the Dallas
show. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and transition to a much bigger show in terms of your list.
Yeah.
You got 2 pages.
2 pages.
He still takes takes notes.
So I'll probably just there's so many here. There's just so many.
Well, give me the good highlights.
It was over 200 rooms.
I know.
I mean, I finished it in about 2.5 days. So
okay.
I mean, I didn't miss much.
I know it's a lot. I've got over 70 videos, and I'm still not even close to finished yet, including a bunch of videos that Dave filmed for me. So yeah.
All right. Well, let's just do the underlined ones, and of course GTT audio with the new Kronos turntable, audio net, Vivid speakers. You got it's the Jara G1 Spirit.
Okay.
So it's the top of the line of the Vivid. Beautiful sound, just very nice. I guess we'll have to skip some. Those Argons.
Again, the Argon with the totem.
Totem Lumen.
Wow.
Oh,
that's surprising.
Underline. I mean,
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. It was a great sounding room.
I didn't see that room, but yeah, that's surprising. Okay.
Yeah, digital source. Okay, we're gonna skip some here. Oh, let's talk about that one with that background, that diffuser piece.
Yeah, the M101.
It was the sound wasn't anything special, but it was the diffuser. Remember that?
The diffuser. That's what I'm getting from my Airbnb. I just came back to make sure I got the right measurements to get mine, and I'm doing a group buy for my members because there's so many people that reached out to me after seeing that and want it. And so, there's going to be a lot more from that M101 room, the diffuser that I went into twice. And I've been doing some research on it, got pricing. It comes from Czech Republic. So trying to get an order in before the tariffs go into effect. So if you're interested, if you want one as well, we're doing a group buy, reach out to me. Email's always in my description, but I think we got 4 people already.
1105, that Tycho Olympus with the Bergman turntable, Manley. I'm not sure which, it wasn't the Chinook, but it was one of their phono stage.
Okay. Manley,
but I got to listen to the turntable and the digital in there. For some reason, the second day, because I came back.
Okay.
Because it just didn't, I wanted it to sound good, and so I came back and said, okay.
Now that's interesting. I remember I'm getting all these shows confused. It could have been Montreal, could have been Dallas, could have been Axpona this past week. That's how crazy it's been. But I remember seeing Manley and VTL in the same room. That wasn't that room though.
No.
It's just a little bit ironic to have both of those in the same room, knowing the family relationship there. But anyway, keep going.
The Magico M9s.
Oh, the M9s, of course.
Yeah, with the Dan DiAgostino. I mean, that they had the 1600 and the 800 Relentless sitting there, and then off to the side with all the Wadax gear.
Yes.
That was $2 million. Easy.
Probably even north of that.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah, north of that.
But and what's ironic is that I've heard the M9s in the Magico facilities. Their dedicated listening room, even better. Chris Hesse had them at his dedicated rooms we were just talking about in Dallas, even better.
Oh, the NBL room with the 101s, and they had a side room. They had the 126s in there.
And they were both playing the same song, so you could real time.
Yeah.
And that's what I did in my video. While he's playing the same song, I got let you hear it. The difference in bass is obvious. The difference in the rooms obviously have played a part, but you're not giving up too much when you go with the smaller NBL.
That both rooms were great. I mean, let's skip down to Rockport, Atrias. What else? Let's see. Stein turntable. Still, there were like 8 still point panels in there.
Okay, all right.
And they had a reel to reel, which is the Revox.
Oh, the Revox. Okay.
Unfortunately, there was a buzz noise, but still when it went silent, you could hear it.
Okay.
But really,
just a ground.
The reel to reel was really nice.
Okay.
All right, double underline. CH Precision integrated with the Reed turntable.
Oh wow.
Airtight with Chroma Elegance. Let's see, beautiful sound.
Okay, so I wish I would have seen that room. I missed it. However, all of those brands you just mentioned, I do have footage at a dealership that is in Chicago area, Skokie. I went to an after hours where they carry the Karma, CH Precision, got some, actually the rep was there talking about the products. It's actually much more than you would get if I went into that room. And the Karmas are there, a lot more. So that stuff I still have to release. But I did miss that room, but I wouldn't doubt, especially that Reed turntable is really nice too.
Yeah, there were a lot of nice turntables here.
Okay.
Well, this, I think, was the bargain of the show.
What was that?
It was in the Magico. There were Magico S3 speakers, and the CH Precision pieces, there was a small stack of them, but right next to it was this Madison, which is all designed by the CH Precision engineers.
Okay.
So it was, like $8,000 for the 2 pieces.
Really?
They're real small.
Interesting.
And I'd never heard of them before, so I'm gonna have to do a little research.
I think I know what you're talking about. Are you sure it's Madison though?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Madison. Yep.
Okay.
Oh gosh, and double underline. Martin Mingus with the Goldman.
Yes. That's
the
a beautiful
Gerard 301 turntable.
Those Martin, the wood alone on the Martin speakers, he was telling me takes 6 months to.
Beautiful.
They have to cure them. They have to do so many levels of finish on it. The Martins are beautiful, and that's one thing. Karma and Martin, T-Doll. There's just a level of point source box speaker of aesthetics that I like them. I like the Magico design. I like the YG design, but
and Joseph Audio.
But Martin and Karma and T-Doll just go to that nth level of giving you like a piece of art.
Yeah, it was very, very nice, lovely, like Gerard turntable.
It's truly artwork what they do.
There was Aries Serat.
Where was that?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed the Broadman room?
Yeah. There was Aries Serat.
I can't believe I missed that. Okay.
All right. Well, I knew that would pique your interest. So
okay. I'm sorry I missed that.
Okay. Let's go to some big rooms. Wilson's, the XVX, Dandy Agostino, DCS Vivaldi.
That's interesting.
Clear Audio Statement turntable, the big monster one. I mean, I got Garth gave me a run through on it, how it works and everything. I was very impressed.
That's nice.
Big sound.
That's it. And this is why I like to give you guys a lot of different opinions, because Doug and Pete went into that Wilson room and they were disappointed with that exact same room. But it was a small room, and it all depends on where you sit, what song is playing, what volume, what the noise floor is. You could get 2 different impressions.
I was listening to the turntable.
Yeah.
So if there was a turntable, I'd prefer I introduce myself.
Well, speaking of turntables, we can't miss that one.
Oh, the Wilson Benech. Yeah, that's. But this is
the GMT one.
This is the small one.
That's the small one.
That's the small one. The Discovery.
Okay.
That was the small one.
Okay.
So that's down here.
Okay, the big room, the Wilson Benech, with the Audiophile.
What a beautiful sound! I've never heard a turntable. It's so neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Just, no coloring. Some turntables and cartridges can change, and it was such a natural sound, even though there was no center image. I don't think it was set up very well. The speakers.
Okay.
But the sound was still there, and it was just beautiful.
Yeah, I know they were dealing with some issues of setup with the subs from Wilson Benesh before the show even started. So yeah, but that turntable, just an FYI, I'll cover it in my video. But I was lucky enough to hear that turntable A-bead real time, one right after the other, in a person's house that had the GMT1 and the Air Force Tech DOS, the whatever, the $400,000 Tech DOS one. That was his prior, and then he had the GMT1, and I was there with Michael Fremer, Mark Doman, and J.R. Bosclair. I couldn't film it for you. This is a private individual. He didn't want to be filmed.
Air Force Zero.
Air Force Zero, yeah. It was so obvious that the Wilson Benesh, I'm sure it's a great turntable, the Air Force, but let me just tell you, it was for me, it was no contest. And I even turned to JR and Michael Fremer and even Mark Doman. He explained to me later, I thought the other one was broken. Now, there were different arms and cartridges, but that GMT one, phenomenal.
Yeah, because the GMT one it's all one. I mean, it's the turntable. You got the bird of prey, Klingon warbird arm, plus the Wilson Benesh.
We got to be careful because there's another tone arm called bird of prey.
Oh, okay. Well,
so that it's not the bird of prey.
It looks like it,
but it looks kind of everything's being synergized, so that is an advantage of the GMT1. I will be visiting, hopefully, that facility, maybe Wilson Benesh in June or July, something like that. So stay tuned for that.
Well, the Wilson Benesh room with their with their speakers, it was a tie between that and the Akora room. Yeah. Akora has never sounded that good before. I mean, it's always sounded good, but this was best in show.
I have to say, I told Val the same thing. I said, Val, I mean, this could be the best room you've ever had sound-wise, and he was kind of agreeing.
Okay, gosh, there's so much. The Karen
and the Vinberg.
Yeah.
The Win Audio, they do the most beautiful job of showcasing the equipment in almost like Tiffany type jewelry casing. When you're paying these high-end dollars, you got to present it, like justify it. And he does the best job of presenting it. But those pieces of gear that are in there, they carry the load as well. They're beautiful.
I mean, it was a digital source, and it was excellent.
Yeah, those are very, very high-end.
The Stanheim with the Grand Prix turntable. So, they're made out in Durango.
Grand Prix, I was just talking to Steve McCormick when I visited him, wondering if they were still in business because I hadn't seen them in so long, and that was good to see them.
Well, they're, it's a small
operation.
But they had the Kuzma Sapphire arm, VTL, electronics.
VTL, Luke Manley was there. I got to meet him again, talk to him.
Well, let's see. Okay, Margolis, always a good room. AGD again.
Rosso Fiorentino.
Yes.
I think he should do Rosso Fiorentino going forward. Yeah. He had the Ocean Ways and then the Fisher and Fisher at one point. But these Rosso Fiorentinos just mate so well.
I'm going to skip over some other ones, but the Stanheim with the little Stanheims with Darciel, CS port turntable, air-type Opus 1 cartridge. Yeah. It's just lovely sound.
Just I agree.
Beautiful. And one of my favorites that I'm going to skip down just here to ELAC room. Whenever they show up, they always, but this time they had a $15,000 speaker in there.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yeah, so
they went all out.
Yeah, usually the whole system is like right around 10, but then with that
I wish I could have made that. There were so many. I'm glad you went into these rooms and give them some coverage because my bandwidth was just so limited. This show, it's impossible to get in every room almost,
And the Estelon Extremes with the Vitus and the Takeo Olympus.
Nice. That room was always packed. I didn't even get near the sweet spot. Yeah.
The Zesto.
Zesto, yes. I came close to going
Zesto gear.
I got distracted. That's what's a common thing now is I get distracted in the halls. I enjoy talking to you guys, so don't ever, be afraid to talk to me. I prefer that, but sometimes I miss some of these rooms because it gets caught up outside the hall. But I was about to go into that room.
All the electronics for Zesto. There was a YG Haley 3s speakers and Dr. Fiker turntable with the Ordophon 90X cart.
I saw Dr. Fiker in a few rooms. Yeah.
just a lovely sound. I mean,
Mhm.
I got to talk to him because they are the older couple that were in there.
They are the ones.
They are the one. He's the engineer and she's
Okay.
the other
Of
part of
Zesto.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, I have to mention Isaac of Rail.
Okay.
He was doing a demonstration on the third floor with the Rail 6-pack, Wilson puppies, and audio research, and he had a Wadax DAC in there. But I sat there, stood there. It was crowded, small room, and just listened to his press. He did such a.
He's a very good salesperson. He knows his stuff. And yeah, I tried to get into that room. I think it was so crowded when I passed on Saturday. So I'm glad you got in there. I see you mentioned Lingdorf too.
Oh well, yeah, there's there's 20 or 30 that I skipped here, and we just
Yeah, I see a bunch of good rooms, but yeah, I'll cover a bunch of these that I'm trying to make sure you didn't mention something that I didn't cover, that because I could not get into every room.
Remember Audio Solution speakers?
Yes, I saw that.
I thought they'd gone away.
Yes,
it sounded really good.
Is that right?
Esoteric equament.
Okay, well that's a good sign because I wasn't the biggest fan.
No.
But yeah, so I
it sounded good.
Beastie, yeah, they're always good.
Tidal, so yeah.
Tidal, yes, yeah. Now I'm upset I didn't go into all these rooms. Oh, PS Audio, I couldn't even get near the sweet spot of that room.
I mean, it sounded good. I mean, there was nothing. I mean, they didn't have a turntable or anything. Oh, and the Avic room they now make a phono stage with an optical
for DS Audio. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah, it's open architecture, and DS Audio's taken the vinyl world by storm.
See anything else?
Well, I didn't get it. I usually always go into Joseph Audio.
Yeah,
I did not get in.
It was Best in Show last year, but it didn't.
This year,
no,
it wasn't? Okay.
No.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it was notable.
Yeah, there's so many rooms now I look at. I wish I could have had time to get into, but this show it's getting bigger and bigger. I just got the press release. They had record attendance, record number of vendors. So it's getting more and more difficult, although I do have already released probably 75 videos. I probably have dozens more to come, plus the musical artisans, dealership stuff, plus the Zoom I'm about to do as soon as Karl leaves. I'm going to jump on a Zoom with all my other members, give you that. Then my wrap-up report. There's going to be Axpona stuff galore coming. But then I go tomorrow, I head out, or the next day I head out to New Orleans, come back for one night in my bed. I go to Malaysia for a week. Then I go to Dallas to install potpourris. You're going to see an install of the potpourris. And he's also got the Bach. Then I go to Bakersfield to install audio. And then I go to Munich. So just in the next 3 to 4 weeks, I'll continue living out of my suitcase. But tons of content to come. It's just going to be as much as I can get out in the time I have available. But I wanted to get this out. Hopefully I'll get it out in a couple days.
Yeah, and if you ever get a chance, there's plenty of hotels around the Renaissance. That's where it was.
Okay.
For Axpona. There's plenty of go.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a show that should be on your bucket list. It will be overwhelming. It will be crowded. But I encourage you to get the program and kind of, map out where you want to go. Because, yeah, I'm even a veteran of shows, and I'm realizing, oh, my God, I didn't even see Aries Serat and Broadman. Totally forgot. So these are just things that you want to map out ahead of time for big shows like that. Smaller shows, you can get the sweet spot and take a little more time. But thanks for your feedback on that, catching you up on 2 shows. And I'll see you guys here soon with even more opinions from Axpona, including mine. See you soon.